Okay, so we've started doing harmonic analysis. This is where the theory student in you gets to really be a theory student. We've looked at triads like this one here, a nice G major triad, and we've learned that we could, write that pop chord symbol. I'm going to put it up here like that for G major. And we also know that it's a one chord in G major. So we can label it like that. Now, in the arrangement of Amazing Grace that I gave you, things aren't put together so neatly and compactly as they are in that triad. If you take a look at the very first chord, it's written like this, with two G's on the bottom, and then a B and a D, like this. Well, having those notes spaced out like that, we say that the triad is no longer in close or closed position. Okay. Some people call it close, some people call it closed, some use it interchangeably. So here, where the notes are as close together as they can be, we say that's in close or closed position. And when they're spread out some, like here we've got an octave between the two G's, and then the G, B, and D, well, they're kind of in close position because they couldn't get any closer than that. When things are spread out, we say it's an open position. And if you look at the next chord, the chord of the downbeat of the first complete measure, we see a good example of that. There's a G, and then the B is skipped, and there's a D. Then it goes up a sixth to a B, and then up another sixth to a G. So this is definitely in open position. So open position means that the notes are spread out, that you could insert at least one note of a triad between, or a chord between two of the notes that are there. So I hope you see that. And so these are all still G chords because they're still using G, B, and D. And they are all in root position because the G is on the bottom or in the bass. And our three-note triad form, they're as close together as they can get, so they're in close or closed position. And then the other ones are in open position because you could put other notes in between the notes as they're written. Now, having four notes at a time is one of the most common ways that music in Western music is written. Has been for centuries or even millennia. And when you have a triad like GBD, but you're doing it with four voices, you've got to do one of the notes twice. So you see in that first chord in our arrangement, there are two of the roots, two G's, so we say the root is doubled. And if we looked at that next triad, we see G, D, B, and G, and once again, the root is doubled. So there you have it. Just simply means what note do you hear two of. And you'll see it's not always the root that is doubled. So that's the difference between close and open spacing. And when you're figuring out what the chord is, sometimes it's very helpful to take a piece of staff paper and write down the notes that are in the chord and put them in close position if you're having a difficult time figuring out what the chord is.